Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for yet another match of Super Rugby Pacific, the first of 3 games that are taking place for the Saturday. This game, FMG Stadium, afternoon fixture between the Chiefs and the Western Force. Should be exciting. See who is able to get themselves to win. The Chiefs are trying to get themselves up there in the top 4 to be closing out this season with a possible home quarter final, whereas the Western Force, they haven't had the best run up against New Zealand opposition. I would love to be able to get some more wins. This headset's going to very much annoy me. Why is it so wonky? That is the big question. Was it like this yesterday? Those are all the things that you slowly notice. I haven't got much sleep last night, I'll be honest. We did end up doing live streams pretty much throughout the whole night, but we are raring to go for 3 matches of Super Rugby plus the sevens later on, and maybe even to close it out with some URC. But do let me know who you think will be able to win this match, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Nankerville, he will be excited to start at number 13 for this game, going head-to-head with Kyle Goldwyn. And then also Tony Pulu versus Amoni Narawa could be a nice old battle taking place out on the wing. But do let me know who you think will be able to go on and get themselves a win. A couple of big subs can be made in the later stages, including Xavier Rowe. Hamilton Burr is actually there at number 19. I don't think, was he the initial man at number 19 for the Chiefs? They may have had a late change for this matchup. And also go Chiefs, says Novmum in the chat as well. And then Richard Kahui, the very experienced veteran. Speaking of veterans, the All Blacks, they are going to have the classic All Blacks going head-to-head with Spain in a very short moment. In fact, by a short moment, I mean about 14 hours. But it will be very exciting. We'll go like this. We will go like this. There we go. I just sorting out something. We have got something happening tonight, which is quite interesting, something that we've never done before, which is 2 simultaneous live streams on the channel, and I am curious to see how that ends up going, but we will have my co-hosts getting involved in that other one for the Blues versus Brumbies, but the Chiefs, they have let Peter Gus Sawakula lead them out his 50th match high as well, says John. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. And hope you are excited for another round of Super Rugby. We are currently sitting at round 14, only 1 round to go until we get to the playoff games. The Force, at the moment, they haven't had their best run. They're in the 10th ranked position, and they were beaten 61 points for 10 last week, which is something that they certainly will want to redeem in this game up against the Chiefs. But they've got a good side, the Western Force, and if they can really do well in the early stages of this game, I would say that they will be able to continue that momentum to maybe, I don't know, this game for me still goes the way of the Chiefs, but I'd like to see a good fight from the Western Force for it. This is the first of 3 games, like I mentioned. The next game, it is going to be the Hurricanes taking on the Reds. And then the last game is the match between the Blues and the Brumbies as well. Hi, says John. And big love, Hamish. How you feeling? Voice holding up well, says Sebastian. I'm doing all right for the circumstances, I guess you could say. Like, I think I got like 4 hours of sleep, which normally wouldn't really be enough. But once the rugby gets going, I feel like it kind of just continues to carry over. The testing factor will be the quarterfinal of the sevens later on tonight. No, it's not Reds versus Hurricanes. And there says it is John, it's Rebels versus Hurricanes at this stage for the next matchup that will be taking place, and that is kicking off at 7:05 p.m. Who takes that one? Definitely, because it is at Sky Stadium. It looks like that was a mascot with a massive Chiefs head on. We are ready to go for this matchup. Peter Gusto, I call a 50th match, and we are now ready to go at FMG Stadium. A little bit of a crowd in attendance by the looks of it. It's going to be taken very nicely by Ralston, who's out on the wing, and already it is going to be a loose ball, and the Chiefs have been able to claim it. Now, they had a very tough-fought victory up against the Rebels, which did include a last-minute try in the last round of Super Rugby. But Bryn Gatlin goes off and also played the second game of the season and a Police Commentary IPL playoff. And there as well says Jagannath. Is that tonight, Jagannath, or is that on a different day? Do let me know, because if it is already the playoffs for the IPL, I feel like I have really struggled to follow along with the competition due to all the games starting at 2 a.m. being a little bit rough on the time zone. That's going to be a knock-on from the Chiefs. And go Chiefs, says James Gaming in the chat as well. But how are you feeling, Sebastian? Because I guess currently you must be very early morning. So do let me know how you're going. Quinton Pye, a little early mistake from there. just quickly go like this and go like that. There we go. We are all good. And we have sorted everything. Pretty much I am still on next week IPL playoffs. So hopefully if it does work out with the schedule, we will hopefully be able to do those games of the IPL on the Kiwi Lad Sport Channel. Playoff starts on the 24th of May. Also, it's actually a midweek game, is it? What kind of early week it would be if it was the 24th, wouldn't it? And also, I scored a try for the first time in 4 years. We versed Napier boys and we won 48-14. Or sorry, 48-17. And also, Chiefs must win this one to keep them in the running to host the quarterfinal. And that is exactly what they'll be looking for. They've still got next week's fixture, but it always helps having that extra victory in your pocket. And that's the thing for the URC. We are starting to see that competition form with who's getting the home home quarterfinals and who is missing out. And also, I played, says James Gaming, and there is and go Chiefs in that one as well. But currently now, Ian Pryor about to feed this ball in. Oh, free kick. Oh, no, time off. Never mind. And also, we don't have to win, but we want to win. And there, says John Dykes. I mean, a win will be very useful. And also, you got Drua next week. Easy for us. I mean, that's the thing, though. The Fijian Drua, as easy as they may seem, if they put out a very good lineup, it's going to be a tough day at the office. And the Chiefs have a perfect record at home against the Force, played 5-1-5. So they will be relatively confident going into this game at FMG Stadium. It's looking like a nice afternoon for them as well. This morning I lost 45-40. And there as well, says James Gaming. That's quite unfortunate getting 40 points as well. Normally when you end up with 40, you don't end up losing a game, but would have been a very good one to watch, I would assume. Now Isaac Rodder goes forward, currently sitting 45 metres out from their own line. Pryor kicks it in behind it. It's taken nicely out on the wing by Chase Tia, starting at number 11 for this match. And I think, it's a beautiful banana kick. And he has been able to get the 50-22 brilliantly done. And also you play against, says John. And also we have got there high Amish as well, says David the Mob. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. How are you feeling? And you must be excited, David, because we're currently 2 days away from your birthday. Have you got anything planned for it? Do let me know. Now, currently, it is going to be in the hands of Bradley Slater. Now, we've seen him actually rotate between playing hooker and also he's actually played a little bit of 7, doing what Dolakoto has been doing for the Fijian Drua and rotating throughout that forward back. And also, I'm extra nervous for the Gloucester game. I want the bloody playoff spot mathematically secured. And there's our Sebastian. And also, big love, David says. It was Sebastian. And also, hey, Kiwi Lad says, Brandon, welcome in, mate. That is going to be another knock on against the Chiefs. So they had a good attacking position on the field, but they have blown it. And now it's kicked downfield from Pryor. And it's a good kick now down to the halfway line. So the Chiefs, you have to say that was certainly not what they were after getting the 50-22 inside of the opposition. I guess that's the thing. 50-22s, sometimes they work pretty well. But then other times it seems like the momentum and also the pressure of getting it right seems to get to the sides just a little bit more. And now the Chiefs, Bradley Slater, about to throw this one in on the halfway line. Doing nicely to Peter Gus Sawakula for his 50th cap. Now Quintal Pye with a bit of crash ball, and you would wonder whether or not he will be in the All Blacks lineup. I believe he will be after the way that he played last year, but now taken nicely by Byron Ralston inside of the 22. It's a big kick. It's a great kick, in fact. Goes down to Chase Tia, and now Bryn Gatlin fires it back across. Caleb Trask joins the line, and that man I would expect to see in the Māori All Blacks when they do end up taking it on Ireland. I bust my finger and my knee and my ankle. And there, as I says, John, now sitting up inside of the 22. Bryn Gatlin will have plenty of time here to be able to kick this one for touch. And he actually almost bounces it into touch. So a great kick from Bryn Gatlin. And also, come on, Brumbies, beat the Blues. And also we have got there, not sure yet, buddy. I'll play by ear. I'm just happy to have my Kiwi Lads golden badge. And there, as I says, David, I do see that they have given it back. So I don't know why they were holding it hostage, I guess you could say. But it's an interesting situation because yesterday our our Fijian Drua versus Crusaders live stream got privated after getting uploaded due to terms and policy. So YouTube took it down because they considered it as spam or something like that. which was an interesting experience, but I guess it is what it is. Out of our 70 Super Rugby live streams, they were like, that one is this one that's spamming. So that's all right. And I was like, hey, Sebastian, much love. So here's David there, and also my league is very bad today. I feel like poo. I feel like I'm going to cry. That I'm going 2 live streams today, says Brandon. Then maybe if you're not feeling the best, Brandon, it wouldn't be a bad idea to take those live streams off, just because at the end of the day, like, I would say if you're just broken your leg, you probably need rest more than likely, and plenty of it. And also, like you lad says, Ollie, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Angus Tarvale pop pass up to Aiden Ross. The 2 Chiefs props linking up, and they have got the penalty advantage currently 6 minutes into this game. Tupava'ai. It's his first carry of the match. Now Weber goes off to Alex Nankerville, tries the wide cutout pass, and it does go straight into the hands of no one. It did end up hitting the sight screen, or not the sight screen, sorry, the little advertising boards. I know there's a fancier word for them, but I can't quite think of what it is. Okay, so it's a penalty only or an offside. I think they're going to take the offside, and this is the question of, does Bryn Gatlin want to go for the corner? And I think he does. Yes, they do. So the Chiefs going aggressive here. And also, there's no way I'm missing a Rugby Sevens game. I missed one Rugby Sevens game in my life. That's not good. A spam in there as well, says David. I'm just glad that, like, because I saw a notification on my YouTube dashboard that said, like, this video has been privated. And I was like, uh-oh, that's not good. But luckily, it was like, this doesn't affect your channel at all. You can't dispute it. It's just there now. But, like, it's pretty much just privated. So it kind of looks like we missed the whole live stream, which feels weird because we don't normally miss many Super Rugby games. It's proven by today. And I was like, everyone download Try so you can see all the sports score leaderboards and the media of the season, says John. I indeed have it, and it is a very useful app. And now trying to drive forward, it looks like Sam Cane's had to clean up that ball. The Western Force on defence currently have been able to stop the Chiefs from really building that big momentum, but it's a good tackle from Feliti Kaitu'u on Aiden Ross. Now quick hands, this is the wide cutout pass, beautifully done to Chase Tia. Oh, he should have passed it. He doesn't though, and he blows the opportunity. And Amoni Narawa, I think he was asking the question, why don't you pass me? Chase Tia says, whoops, sorry about that. It also scores media and table of the season. And there's and also nice, I like your jet. Your jet yet? Your jet yet. My jet yet. Jet yet. That has stumped me, Brandon, but do let me know. Unless you're talking jersey, which might not be the case, but if you are talking jersey, it is a new one. Well, it's not new, it's an old one, but I've never worn it for a live stream. And also, can you ask James who they at versed? They lost 45-40, but to who? Says John, then IA. Brandon says says David there as well. But Tia tried to back him himself. And Amoni Narawa, he had a lot of space there. One moment, I am just replying to a message. There we go. No, they're saying international front row for the Western Force. And that is going to be the free kick to the Chiefs. But this is a big day of sport. And also, I think a try will be scored soon. There's no mum there. There is a very high possibility of that. As long as the Chiefs are able to use this set play beautifully, beautifully, I think Luke Jacobson might be able to make a couple meters off the back. And hey, all says Tesla. And there's and yes, Hamish and what? And time to Bimas and George, come on. And where's your Chiefs jersey, Hamish, says David. That's a great question. I think I was possibly running a little bit behind this morning. In fact, it's afternoon, isn't it? Pretty much, I did wake up only a little bit before the live stream did get underway, so I was probably a little bit late with it. And that's going to be an advantage now for the Chiefs. And I want to see whether or not I can break the streak of the Chiefs. Can they win games when I'm not wearing the jersey? And hopefully they can win it relatively comfortably. But it looks like Tim Anstey's a bit fired up at the moment. George is here, says Brandon. Also, Big Love Tesla, says Sebastian there as well. And let's go Canes at 7 p.m, says Tesla. So that should be a very exciting one. See who does end up getting themselves a win. They've gone with Geordie Barrett at 12 again, Tesla. So my question for you is, would you have Geordie Barrett as your number 12 in the All Blacks? with maybe Will Jordan at 15, or do you think it's just a Super Rugby phase that they are going through currently? And also, Chiefs should win. Says Mr. They should, but you never know. The Western Force at the moment, they are hanging on. They've had to defend pretty much for 11 minutes. They haven't really had a good attacking opportunity. But at this point in time, they have been able to hang on to it for just long enough to be able to stop the Western Force, stop the Chiefs from making their way in. And also we have got their Amish's George come. Who's he getting on the piss? That's going to be nicely done by Quinton Pye. And I jinxed them big time. They have scored the try now, the Chiefs. And that is going to be the first try of the match. And Quinton Pye does get it at inside centre. A moment, we will go like this. Chiefs. Try. Oops. Try. No. Try. Score. Riz. There we go. Nicely done by Quinton Pye. And that is going to be the very first try of the match. So nicely done by the Chiefs. A moment, we go like this. We go like this. There we go. And also, no way, mate. Geordie fullback, Harvey 12. Let's not fiddle with the ways of the universe. I'm just saying Ian Foster loves a fiddle. Doesn't he? I mean, he's put Geordie Barrett out on the right wing in the past, of course. And also, good afternoon and evening, friends. A big day ahead. Let's go, Hamish. Says Justin as well. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Yeah, they should trial Geordie at 12 for the ABs and Will Jordan 15. And I met Quinton Pye's mum today. He has a little brother called Mason, and his mum said I can go over to his house and get an autograph with him. Says Ollie Wilson. As in, you can get an autograph with his brother or with him. I assume it's with him. And I was like, nice to see you and hear the call. Says Robert there. So welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well currently. We are sitting 4:48 p.m. here in New Zealand. We have got a big day ahead of us. I believe our last live stream we are doing finishes at about 8 a.m. or somewhere around there. So we've probably got about a 16-hour day ahead of us here. But that's what you got to do for the rugby. We got plenty of it on. And that's the thing. There is always something happening in the world of sport. And this weekend, it's just been rugby, rugby, rugby. Chase 29-17. And can you see George come at who you was in the chat? It is actually George. One moment. I will see what he is up to. It seems like there might be a slight change of plans. And also with Quinn, says Ollie there. That's a wide pass. It looks relatively flat, maybe even forward for the Western Force, but it does end up going into touch. There we go. And also we've got there Blues and Brumbies going to be insane, says Tesla. It certainly is. And also, can we call one day and a call on Messenger, Kiwi lad, says Ollie. Maybe one day. I know that we have talked about doing some sort of thingy on Discord at some point. But we haven't quite decided on that 16-hour day. And there's MH Joy. And yeah, that's the thing. Yesterday felt like a reasonable, I guess, amount of time. We did end up doing about 13 and a half hours. But the big thing here today is we got an extra game on top of that as well. And also, yeah, I think if the Blues win, they have pretty much secured first. And there, as I says, Nov Mum. But now it is going to be in the hands of the Western Force. There may not be a George tonight. These changes in the plans are only just now happening, ladies and gentlemen. But I believe, worst comes to worst, it will be my mum all by herself for the Brumbies versus Blues for about the 20 minutes that I am away doing the sevens. But I think I should be able to rope in maybe Isaac. Maybe I'll be able to get him. Also, again, mum, hopefully Blues can pull it off and get the W, says Tesla. Yeah, as well, but it has been kicked towards the touchline. The Western Force currently sitting 7-0 down, even though the scoreboard says 5. Now it says 7. And it was just straight in there illegally for Quinton Pye and did end up giving away that penalty. But Feliti Kaitu'u now had to throw this one in. They have been able to get themselves 19 tries this season from the line out of the Brumbies, and maybe the underdogs tonight. I believe that they are. But the big thing is GIO Stadium, other than that game last week up against the Crusaders, they have been pretty impressive on themselves. But now it's going to be passed back across. It's another advantage in favour of the Western Force. That is for offside. Now Pryor goes back across to Santiago Medrano, the Argentine international, still actually the lone standing Argentinian at the Western Force. And it is a shame because he lost all of his teammates, such as Domingo Miotti such as Thomas Kubeli and all of the other Argentine players who did end up disappearing, and also 2 live streams at once. And there, as I says, Brandon, it certainly is. Santiago Marrano now hanging on to it. Now Pride goes back across Fergus Lee Warner, gives it off to Rodder. And this is some nice play from the Western Force. And let's go Chiefs, cheer bro. Or cheer bros, says Johnny Long and Strong. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And do let me know, Johnny. I feel like you're on the same wavelength as the Chiefs at the moment. You know, you kind of, what's it called? Your telepathy's kicking in. Who's scoring the next try? Exact player for the Chiefs. Let's see if you get it. And also, who do you think will win the game against the Blues and the Brumbies? I said in my preview that is coming out, well, it came out at 3, didn't it? I think I said the Blues by 15. I went really bold. And also, Blues suck, Brumbies will win. And there says John, I mean, it's weird to say that a team who's at the top of the table sucks. You know, they're above everyone else at the moment this year. And also, Blues for a big win to prove they deserve to be at up or be at the top. So here's Justin there. It looks like the Western Force trying to decide whether or not they want to go for the corner or whether they do want to go for the 3, and they are kicking for the corner here. The Western Force are playing aggressive and hoping to get themselves a little bit of fortune. That doesn't look too good for Sam Cane, though. It looks like maybe a knee injury. Oh. Okay, Santiago Marrano might have taken out Sam Cane's knee. And I don't think he looks like he's in a good way currently. And also lineups. And this is Johnny Long and Strong. Sadly, I do not have the pictures, but I can read out the Chiefs lineup for you. So it is Aidan Ross, Bradley Slater, Angus Tarval, Josh Lord, Tupavai, Peter Gus Sawakula, Sam Cane, who's down at the moment with an injury, so probably not him, Luke Jacobson, Brad Weber, and then it is going to be Bryn Gatland, Chase Tiatia, Quintupoia, Alex Nankerville, Imoni Narawa, and Caleb Trask. And I believe Sam Cane's knee might be done at this point in time, and my man Blaze, and there as well. And also we have got there go the Moose, and hello everyone, says Paddy Wagon. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Currently, Sam Cane not doing so well. I think his knee got actually bent sideways from Santiago Marrano. Also, I love the new handle, Johnny Long and Strong, cool, bro. Says David the Mod there as well. But it looks like Mitchell Brown just warming up the neck muscles, getting ready to go. And also, no, Sam Cane says Tessa, he might be out for a long time, depending on how this one goes. He doesn't look happy at all at the moment, Sam Cane, although he doesn't seem like he's in a huge amount of pain either. Like, he just looks annoyed with the fact that his knee's giving out on him, but he's kind of just chilling. Is he going to be able to stand up? Oh, he's a tough boy, isn't he, Sam Cane? And also 50-15, says Jason there. And also another one next try, says Johnny Long and Strong. And also Anchor Powell goes Paddy Wagon, says David the Mod there as well. I guess I've realised I have a weird sleep schedule, ladies and gentlemen. Do you guys over the weekends also end up in a very weird pattern, or is it just me? Because I noticed, like, we were up at, like, way too late last night, to be honest. Oh, and it sounds like it's the proof of that is my voice. But, like, yeah, how many of you guys watched the Sevens last night at random hours? Or did you end up waking up and then watching some Sevens rather than sleeping in the daytime? And also, it's probably a good thing Cane is injured. Cane's and AB's career finished. Adults the top dog at 7 now, says Johnny Long and Strong. And it does certainly open up that door, but now Mitch Brown is out on the field, and it is going to be the rolling ball for the Western Force now. Wagon, and now Brad Weber, says Mark, for the next try scorer. They have gone backwards once. Feleti Kaitu hangs on to it, Angus Tarval, and also Bradley Slater shutting it down straight away for the Chiefs, and they will get themselves the scrum feed. Nicely done. I do if I get up to watch those European games. Says David the Mod there. My son woke up at 8 a.m., which is late for me. Got him sorted. Went back to bed 9 a.m. Then woke up after 2 p.m., says Nov Mum. Yeah, that's the classic rugby sleeping schedule, isn't it? For the weekend. Like, that's the thing. Next week, we've got the London Sevens. So that is going to mess up the time zone a little bit. Although the good news is we don't actually have the URC, but I believe that's because, is that because we got the semi or the final of the Champions Cup, or is that in a couple weeks' time, in fact? Maybe, but I think we got some sort of competition that we're getting very close to playoff games. I'm just going to have a quick look to see when that Champions game is taking place. But Peter Gus Sawakula, nice run, 25 metres out now from their own line. The Chiefs, it has been taken back. Alex Nankerville, one more out to Caleb Trask, who will now kick it down the middle of the field. It goes straight into the hands of Jake Strawn. And now Ralston does put up the high kick, trying to go after it. It's going to be Chase Tia. Didn't actually have his eyes on the ball, and that is a risky tactic. It's going to be a knock-on, though, against the Western Force. Right, I'm just going to have a quick look. So the URC is tonight. At this point in time, the IPL is coming up relatively soon for the playoff games. Super Rugby Aotearoa, the under-20 competition, actually starts tomorrow as well, I do see. And then it is Curry Cup next weekend, and then the Champions Cup final between Leinster and La Rochelle. That is going to be 7 days' time, and it will be taking place at 3:45 a.m. Nice. And also, I do if I get up for the European Games. And also, you need to eat plenty of vegetables and fruit to help your body sustain the crazy changes of ours. There you go. Wait, my friend says Justin there as well. So I've changed my diet a little bit over the last little while just because I knew that, like, it's going to be one that I need plenty of energy. Brad Weber's got plenty of it at the moment. He kicks the short side and goes for the chip kick. It does go into touch, though, for him. So he does end up missing out. But yeah, about 7 days' time, Leinster versus La Rochelle will be taking place. And also we have got there, depends on how much I blaze. Sometimes I overindulge and have cones at like 12 a.m. And it's kind of like a waste because I'm really tired. I don't really use the high. Then I wake up late at 7 a.m., says Johnny Long and Strong. See, late at 7 a.m. is an interesting statement. Because for me, like late is, I guess, well, for me, late is like 7 p.m., to be honest. I end up sleeping all throughout the day a couple of times. And I think that's what my Monday is working out to be. It's pretty much going to be I just sleep. And also, High West kicked ass playing for La Rochelle. We saw and there says it was Johnny Long and Strong. Kiwi lads, can you please come to Hamilton to my birthday party in October? It's my dream to meet you and you could sleep over. And who would you chuck in my pool out of Reed, Corey, Lee, or Felix? I haven't actually met any of them. So I feel like chucking someone in the pool, I'd have to work out who can swim first of all, because that would be easier than the lawsuit. But yeah, don't know who I throw in a pool. I feel like I'm trying to think of the last person I threw in a pool. I don't think I've ever thrown someone in the pool. I think I've been thrown in a pool. And yeah, if I'm pissed and get out to watch the game, I end up sleeping on my keyboard. Says David the Monitor. Also, I can't watch the classic All Blacks. It gives me I can't wait to watch the classic All Blacks. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it, says Justin. Yeah, it's going to be a very awesome match. I'm still deciding whether or not it's going to be Leinster versus Munster or classic All Blacks. But either way, hopefully we do have a game that we are covering at that stage and you're waking up in the PM instead. Bro, normally I'm up at like 5 a.m. And also I'll splash the Q lads and also reading my beats, please. And then as well, but currently now it is going to be an advantage to the Chiefs, and Mani Narawa tries to make his way through. They're going back for the penalty now. I'm going to see whether or not they have announced the Spanish side. See, that's probably my big problem is I don't know any of the Spanish team. So that will probably be, I guess, the downfall of that live stream is I won't have any idea who half of the guys running around on the field are. For the classic All Blacks, though, I think I should be all right. But I'm just seeing whether or not they have got it on the website. They do not. So it's going to be one, I think not only that it might be tricky to find a scoreboard, but then alongside that, it might be very tricky to work out who's in the starting lineups. Doesn't realize how fast he is. And now Brad Webb has wheels. Damn, he looked very good down that top side of the field not too long ago. Now it's thrown in to provide. Takes it nicely off to Peter Gasso-Akulu, who wants to make a big old trip towards the All Blacks for the Irish tour. It would run forward from, I believe there was Samapini Finn now. How did he end up out on the field? Okay, he is possibly in there for Josh Lord. And you're an expert on African names now, as you have no problem with the Spanish rugby team. See Sebastian there as well. Tell you what, if we had any Spanish rugby supporters, Sebastian, they'll be sitting going, that guy brings it up every time. But they're probably going to hear all about it for the next about 4 years. Okay, another try. Be coming soon. Scored by Peter Gasso-Akulu. And John Dykes, do you have a crystal ball? Says Justin there. And Spanish side will be half Tongan ethnicity. Says Johnny Long and Strong. But yeah, so even if we do end up doing Munster versus Leinster, seeing as I know more of the players, I'll pretty much keep you guys updated throughout that whole of the Classic All Blacks game. And I'll also just have it up on my other screen so we can see both of the games at the same time. It's a decent exit, but unfortunately they took it back into their 22. So it does now mean that it is going to be about 22 metres out that they have got the line out. Also, we have got the, what do you mean, Hamish? Can you read my beats? Can you read my beats, please? Your beats. As in, like, your raps, I assume. And also, I vote Munster versus Leinster. It's an absolute classic. And there, as well, says Sebastian. And the other side of things is with the Classic All Blacks game, we've probably got more potential of being able to do like a watch along of a replay of that match or something along those lines. I saw a Classic AB games years ago. Sir Brian Lahore and Sir Colin Meads were linesmen and ended up running on for the second half. Jeez. See, that's the thing. They haven't completely confirmed the two squads. It means bet Samish. I see. And no bet, sorry, Chiefs score in the first 8 minutes of the Chiefs again at 20 for 26. Though I think a couple of those might have already been missed, unfortunately. At this point in time, prediction, the All Blacks, did they win by more than 43, says Robert. Oh, so that's the Classic All Blacks, isn't it? I think, for me, Spain, we've got to work on the theory they were going to be qualified for the World Cup. That was close for Aidan Ross. Did he get that one down? I think they are going to be checking this one. Also, Johnny Uso. And there says Nazi Williams. It is actually, yeah, it is Johnny Blaze. And also, Go You Good Things, the mighty MT. Oh, and also the Chiefs. And there says Josh, I think Aidan Ross thinks he scored this one. But yeah, I have no idea who's in that Spanish team, which is why you'd think that they should have better fitness than some of the Classic All Blacks. But then saying that, some of these guys just run for days, don't they? And I was like, AC Bow, says Betty Wagon, and also, bro, if Ireland win the first test, they'll end up winning the series. OMFG, could you imagine that? Says Johnny Long and Strong. Will be interesting. But that's the thing, Ireland, at the moment, they've been playing extremely well. For me, that is not down yet for Aidan Ross. I think someone's got their hand underneath that. That is nicely done by whoever that is, because he's literally, now it's down, but it depends on how long they are waiting for. And also, I've got their Malavanaka, Tagali, Usos. That is going to be the try for Aidan Ross. And I can guarantee you, no one would have predicted that. So it's all right. There's still going to be a try for Ramoni Narawa in the near future. But Aidan Ross scores a try. Nicely done. And that will be another try now for the Chiefs. This game has been going relatively quickly. We're already 24 minutes through the first half. And also doing well, Betty. So much sport on. I fear not to miss something, honestly. And there. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, the Gallagher Premiership's going on, and I haven't actually been able to watch too much of it because of all the sevens. And as that you Blaze, it is indeed. It is Johnny Long and Strong, Johnny Blaze, on his second account due to the fact that he actually broke his phone again, sadly. But yeah, so that is why we have got Johnny Long and Strong. So they're ready there, please. Chiefs score first 8 minutes. And there as well. And that is it, says John. A little bit lower down as well. But that's going to be the knock-on from Tupovai. Now Jake McIntyre gets a big opportunity to start at 10 for this game. And Pasatai actually moves to number 12. Now Faleti Kaitsu'u looks for the offload. It is going to be a knock-on advantage now. Now Ryan McCauley goes forward just a little bit further now. The Western Force need to be very careful not to have a blowout, and everything in this game is moving except the scoreboard. And there, as us, says David the Mod. And yeah, the scoreboards lately have been a little bit 50-50. Overall, it's actually starting to get windy here, which it wasn't earlier on. And also good Paddy Mate. And there, as us, says Tesla. That is going to be the scrum now for the Western Force. And also come and chase another 2 tries before half-time, says Novmum. Very optimistic. I like it. And I feel like that's the thing. All it takes is the Chiefs to find one more line break, and they will go over again. It looks like it's gotten quite dark at FMG Stadium as well. In fact, it doesn't look too far off from maybe raining. And also good on you, Patty. And thanks for explaining, Hamish. Lolo Malo Us. There's also I've got there. He actually copied and pasted that ask if you ever come at some people. Says Sebastian there. And also we've got there. Hello, David, how are you? And there says Patty. I imagine that's said with like a real Kiwi southern accent, like g'day, how are you? It's almost a little bit like, that's the thing. When you go south enough, it's almost turning into, I guess, an Australian accent. Here you go, how are you? a little bit of twang on that one. And also, morning, everyone, says Carl. And also, we have got there, Mum due to live in the Netherlands. She does live in Waikato, I believe, but she's got a Dutch husband, maybe. And also, just doing my job, says Betty there as well. That one has been kicked for touch. But yeah, it's gotten a lot darker there at the ground. So either it's getting towards nighttime or it's about to absolutely bucket down with rain. And Hamish, you made me a happy man. I won that bet, says Carl. See, the thing is, I didn't even know if they won, to be honest, until you just said. Did they win by a lot, Carl? Or did they win by like a little bit? And how much did you get in return? Probably $2.50, wasn't it? Or did you just tell me it was $10 but actually put a lot more on it as a bit of a trick? But that's going to be the advantage against Santiago Marano. The weather has been pretty shocking lately, raining all night and day. It's been horrible in the Waikato and there as well. And now currently hanging on to this one. It is going to be going back for the initial penalty advantage against Santiago Marano. Chiefs now, they've got a good opportunity to try and get themselves maybe another try rather than going for the 3 points. 6 penalties against the Force. And by the way, the English Test captain, a guy by the name of Benjamin Stokes, was spotted doing an interview using the phrase, yeah, nah. And there as well. So he's still a Kiwi at heart, isn't he? Also won by 11. 2,400 Rand. So that is $24, is it? No. No, it might not be 24. I really suck at my exchange rates. And also another try soon, I think. And also, yeah, thunderstorms and heavy rain in Wellington these past few days. I know that, Peter, you mentioned about the fact that there was also a tornado somewhere in that North Island, but now hanging on to this at the back, Bradley Slater trying to creep this one forward just a little bit further. For the Chiefs, that's not too far away. Dallas was leading by 20-odd points in the half. I was nervous. Says, Carl, geez, down by 20, you would have thought, right, that guy's told me completely wrong information, but it's a good comeback. And 14-0 says Crash Drifter, and it could be even more than that. Chase Tiatia, look for the offload. Bounces back up for Amoni Narawa. And they still got this one 10 metres out. It was in 11, and always rains in Welly, and also, bro, that hurricane in 11. As well says Johnny Blaze, quintuplies over and he scores again. And he does pick up his second of the match. So Novmum, your spidey senses were tingling of another try. And that is exactly what they were able to get. So now the Chiefs, the Western Force, have really chosen the wrong time to start losing games by a lot of points, is all I will say. And also we've got their scrum. Says Crash Drifter in it there as well. And also, yeah, go Chiefs. But yeah, I haven't actually seen any footage of the tornado. Was it like a real big one? More than likely, rather than just like a little one overall. This jersey, I don't think I've ever worn this jersey for a live stream as well, ladies and gentlemen. So it feels very weird wearing a jersey I haven't had on. But I've actually got a few jerseys I haven't worn. So maybe I should start mixing it up a little bit. I always wear my kind of green Everlast one, my black Absent one, and then also that grey and black one that I've got. Other than that, though, like, I mean, it probably doesn't help that I've got a few of those Everlast ones that are the same and only a small one. Says Patty there, and also they scored. They did indeed. The Chiefs, says Crash Drifter. And also we got their try, says Desley. And also Force got old Chiefs players. Says Oldie there. And also the Western Force not doing that great, says Nazi Williams. And of course, Richie Kahu going to be coming off the bench in the later stages of the game. And also we've got that, it's pronounced Levin. And also we're getting more tornadoes in New Zealand. Scary. Says David the Mon, and also Quinn Tupacs. There's that. Also, it's so natural as well. Or it was so natural as well, didn't even realize what he was going to say and corrected it quickly. Yeah, nah. Said quickly, then not really. So maybe that's the thing. He spent a little bit of time in New Zealand, didn't he? So maybe just a little bit of Kiwi slang still sticking about, but that's going to be 21-0 now. Nicely done. But the Western Force have been able to retain their own kickoff, and now it is in the hands of big Isaac Rodder. Around the side for Liti Kaitu, trying to get over the try line as quickly as possible for the Force to get them back in this game. Currently, as we sit, the bonus point will be going in the favour of the Chiefs, and also 21-0 and up the mighty Hurricanes. So here's Joseph there as well. I'm about to sneeze. It was a big shot from Tupavai. In fact, it was Summer Penny Finn now. He was able to do a very nice shot there, and also come to the Auckland Bros with it always good. Here's Nazi Williams there as well. Now Jake McIntyre goes for the cross kick. This is opening up. It goes to Tony Pulu. And he goes in for the first try of the match for the Western Force at Test Series in the Northern Hemisphere. Kiwis versus Southern Hemisphere Kiwis, let's be honest as well. I see Sebastian for that one. Yeah, we got a few players scattered throughout that English side with New Zealand, I guess New Zealand ties, isn't it? And I'll say, yes, son up. Oh, yes, son up, the mighty Chiefs at 7. And there is us, says Tesla, and also we've got the come on Chiefs, says John. That is going to be a very nice try for Tony Pulu, who now goes in for the first try of the match for the Western Force. There we go. We'll add that one, Tony Pulu. Pulu? I think that's how you spell it. Probably one of the easier names to spell, but I think I've misspelled it. I think it is just Pulu. Yes, it is. And we will go like that. There we go. They have been able to get it. Also, we've got their fourth score, 5-21. And also, we've got the Chiefs win this. We would have put them on the table, Hamish says Justin. So if they win, they almost secure themselves that home quarterfinal, which is exactly what they'll be after. But the way that the competition is kind of heating up currently, every side needs every win. I'll quickly get that table up, though. A moment. We will go like this. So the Chiefs are currently sitting in 4th. If they win this game, they are still in 4th, but they close that gap a little bit more with the side in front of them, the Brumbies. Currently, the Crusaders sitting in 2nd as we do sit, and there's going to be a decent strike of the ball, and it does mean now that the score is going to be 21 points to 7. And Kiora says, Richard, welcome in, and also what part of the country are you located? I am halfway in between. If you know where Christchurch and Dunedin are in the South Island, I'm halfway kind of smack bang in the middle of those two. So somewhere in a region called South Canterbury, which some people have heard of, some people have not heard of. But yeah, about halfway up the South Island is whereabouts I am. And also we have got there, like Tony Pulu is playing for the Western Force. And there, as us says, Johnny Long is strong. He is indeed. I think he's been there since this season or last season. I think he might have made the transfer. But I do know that at the moment there are a few players actually transferring to other clubs for next year. I know Sakopi Kipu's rumoured that maybe the Waratahs could be after. I know where's Elsa's, and there says Paddy Wagon as well. So when did George tell you what street I live on, Paddy? Do let me know. But now it is going to be passed across here once again. Pasatoa hangs onto it nicely on the halfway line, and now Pryor will kick it in behind. The Western Force, they need another try before we get to halftime, and this could be a good opportunity for them as it's taken nicely by Tim Anstey. And now looking to go around this side with this one. Pryor goes off now to Jake McIntyre. They've got men on the outside. He does decide to take the contact, and instead there, Rejan Pasatoa almost going straight over the wall with Chase Tiatia. Now McIntyre linking up. Santiago Marano, great shot on him. Once again by Peter Gasoakola. Him, Sama Penifino, and Tupavai are all putting in massive shots. I made a deal with him. And there's also says, Petty, what was the set deal? Eddie D, let me know. And also, morning, all says, Eric, welcome in, mate. And last night, it was interesting at the local police department removing stolen cars from my neighbours. And then they came over, woke us up and asked if we knew anything, says Justin. Nice. So I guess that's an interesting situation, isn't it? Did you know they were stolen cars, or did they just all of a sudden end up having a lot? And also, the one house you can never burgle is there's someone awake at any time of the day or night, says Sebastian. That is very true. And also, you need to make an emoji that says, whereabouts you live. We're getting asked that question heaps, says Johnny Long and Strong. And the thing is, Johnny, you actually, I guess you're talking about like a full-on map, aren't you? I was going to say you actually do know where I live, the exact address, which is, I think, one of the only people who know it. So well done, Johnny. You've got that special privilege, I guess you could say. In other words, it's not really that special, though, is it? You probably look in any phone book and you'd be able to find it. But, yeah, fun times. It's starting to rain at FMG Stadium by the looks of it, but we're 36 minutes through the first half. And for Liti Kaitu'u, now starting to go for this rolling maul. The cowbells are rattling at the moment. And Angus Tarvell trying to make his way through the middle of the rolling maul. Wasn't able to do so. Now Pryor goes off into the hands of Pasatoa. And also we don't know our neighbours. Oh, we don't know our neighbours. They kind of look like shady characters. And there says Justin. Now driving their way forward nicely here for the Western Force. Fever about to kick me in the head. So we're going to quickly go like this. There we go. And also we get the hearts from Johnny Long and Strong, and then also the laughing faces as well now. And it's going to be Brad Weber hanging on to this one for the Chiefs, only a metre out for the line. It looks like Amani Narawa going to take on the kicking option. It has gone pretty much straight into touch, and now only 10 metres out. The Western Force are going to have themselves another attacking opportunity. It'll be interesting. See how it does end up going. But Summer Penny Finau, he's had an absolute blinder. So it's been out there. Hamish address is 1 or a 0-1 Kiwi Lads Street by Matty. The town is tough to die. And there as well, says David the Mod. See, that's the thing. I did mention about like GeoGuessr because I was terrible at it. And I feel like doing like a GeoGuess around New Zealand would be quite a lot of fun, possibly. But Ian Pryor now going to be passing it off. They are only 10 metres out, and we're your neighbours of that undesirable group of people who terrorise New Zealand. And there says Johnny Long, Strong, and Johnny Long and Strong. A couple of the police officers were pretty, my friend, says Justin. And also Western the Force be with you. And that hay fever stuff be going hard as well, says Nazi Williams. Yeah, it's always a shame when you wake up and you can feel the hay fever just kicking you very hard. But luckily it hasn't been as bad this weekend as it was last weekend. I will say that they have got advantage at the moment. The Western Force, Tony Pulu, good attack and run. He had his ankle taken out from underneath him by it was Summer Penny Finau. Metre shorter line now for the Western Force. And it looks like they might be able to get themselves back into the contest if they do end up getting it right. Tupavai making the tackle there. Chiefs, a very consistent Super Rugby franchise. And there as well, says Gita. It's a nice fin there. Pasatoa breaking through 5 metres out from the line. Now almost stolen by Caleb Trask, unable to do so just in time. Yeah, bro, some of these Sheilas and Blue are smoking up. Come arrest me, baby, says Johnny. As our now going to be looking to link up back on the 22. So they've actually lost quite a bit of ground in the process of trying to make their way forward. Now Isaac Roddick goes off. It's going back for the penalty. And that will be a penalty to the Western Force. It's all I mean. Get a Hollywood sign on the hill on the news. And there's us, says Nazi Williams here. We got the White Horse. It was actually on 7 sharp the other day, wasn't it? And also, I don't know about my neighbours that well, but today they were moving out. I see. So they've decided, right, we're going to drop the crime scene, just go somewhere else. Unless, of course, maybe they were like moving because they are getting arrested. And also, their Chiefs need to defend. And also, Reed says, hi, Kiwi Lads, welcome in, Reed. You are doing all right, mate. But now Jake McIntyre. I mean, position on the field, I would have thought a scrum might have not been a terrible option, but they do love a rolling maul here for the Western Force, and they're going to see whether or not they can get it right. But a couple drops have fallen from the sky at FMG Stadium. So whether or not that is completely going to affect it, and also Centrelink probably kick them out of the house and cut their Centrelink dollars. So here's Johnny Long and Strong, but that's going to be taken nicely by Rodder. Now the maul starts to move very, very slowly, and the Chiefs have been defending it pretty nicely. Was the wife hot? David the Mod. I feel like that's a very Johnny Long and Strong question, David. I feel like he's trained you in it could be considered as a good thing. It could also be considered as a bad thing. And also, Lowell says Nazi Williams. They have Ian Pryor now. Western Force, they need 1 try before the end of the first half, and they will be right back in this contest. Santiago Medrano around the side, just short of line. In fairness, you see a car that you like and you nick it. As well, and also don't know what these coppers are expecting. I mean, they've just been playing too much GTA, I think. You know, that's the thing. People will blame GTA and other games that you have to steal vehicles. They'll be like, it's making it too easily accessible for the youths to be able to start stealing things. But now it is going to be Ian Pryor off to the left. Fergus Lee Warner. This is great defense from the Chiefs at this point in time. And I will mention it is absolutely terrific having the time on the scoreboard. I know it sounds like such a little thing, but that whole game yesterday, we were sitting wondering what is the time in the match between Moana Pacific and the Reds that's gone into touch. And that will now be halftime. Brilliant defense from the Chiefs to be able to close the other half, and they are going to be 21 points to 7. Oh, well, I was going to ask Ollie earlier if Tapaya's mother was hot too. Says David the Mod, and also David the Mod. Yep, she was. I don't think she was the wife. Here's Justin there. But that will be halftime now between these two sides, 21 points to 7. So a decent first half for the Chiefs, but then a nice fight back from the Western Force in the later stages to be able to keep their hopes and dreams alive of being able to win this matchup. am going to very, very quickly see what's happening with my hosts. So I know that at this stage for the Brumbies versus Blues, it is going to be my mother. She is there. It's just whether or not she's got a friend or two friends or no friends for the live stream a little bit later on. And also we've got there, it's always the hot ones that move away, says David. And Johnny Longstrong probably's got the boot evicted. And there as well, says Justin. Oh, but yeah, it's an unfortunate one, isn't it? And house prices, I think they're going down. I think I heard someone say, which is probably information that is not that useful for a rugby live stream, but housing prices, of course, one day wouldn't mind being able to get myself a house. I know that George wants to get a house somewhere like Wanaka, which is going to be probably breaking the bank and a half. And also we have got there the laughing faces from Justin. And also we have got there, Hamish, do you use any premium antivirus software for your PC or browser? I have got, I can't even remember the name of it, but I have got some sort of one. I think George has got the same one, but he always gets annoyed because it pretty much always says that he needs to update it, even though he's already got it updated. But there is something on here that does stop anything from getting through, which is good news. And also, heck yeah, the Chiefs are winning for Maka. And I'm back into washing windows at the lights and running amok on the signies. Ooh, be gone, filthy creature. What is the signies or the signies, Johnny? Do let me know. I feel like I know that I should know what it is, but I have no idea. It also boring, only one-sided here. I'm going to smoke my last joint. Says Spider there. And also, yeah, it will be interesting. See whether or not the Western Force can fight back. Because that's the thing. If they got themselves another try at the end of that first half, they would have only been 7 points or so down. And go Chiefs, go. And there says Reed as well. Yeah, we will have to wait and see how the second half does end up going. The next game that we are covering on the channel, it will be the Hurricanes taking on the Rebels and what should be a very exciting one. St. George Illawarra Dragons 6, Warriors 4 at 19 minutes in, just saying, says Nazi Williams. And so the Warriors, hopefully they can get themselves a decent performance here because they were very close in their last game. They were able to fight back hard. And the bros get in their houses, woo-woo. And then you Wanaka, aka another Auckland playground, says Johnny Long and Strong there. See, that's the thing. I think George, his parents, they have a holiday home in Wanaka. And we were talking about it a while ago, how it would be absolutely incredible to one day kind of just do some sort of Kiwi lads weekend in Wanaka. I feel like that's got a ring to it, weekend in Wanaka, and pretty much just have a whole heap of you guys come to Wanaka. Even though I don't live in Wanaka, we will also go to Wanaka and then just pretty much chill out for the weekend, watch some rugby, probably go to the lake because they've got a whole heap of weird things there, such as like the paddle boarding and all that kind of things. And also other better sides, or Kiwi, other better side in Super Rugby, says John. And also about 10 years ago, I had a hot little blonde and moving across the road with her friends. Our wives didn't appreciate it, says David the Mold. And also we have got the blazed one up from DeChellis for you, me brother man. There's Johnny Long is strong. I feel like I'm slowly getting the Johnny lingo, you know? Oos. Sorry. I don't think I'll use that word oos anymore. I don't think I used it to the full potential that it's got. I feel like if I said that on one of the Samoan or Fijian live streams or something, everyone would just be like, what is this guy on about? And also the only way the Warriors are going to win is if I install classic Kiwi culture back into the team. And there says Justin, we're doing a Warriors career mode on our Super Rugby, or not our Super Rugby YouTube channel, our Kiwi Lads Exodus channel. And hopefully we're going to go all right. And also we have got the election day here in Oz. I hope they call it before the Blues versus Brumbies, says David there. And you can trust anyone on that. And also enjoying my dinner mince and fish cakes with seafood snack packs. Sounds all right. I think for dinner tonight, I'm going to have chips. Unfortunately, I think that's all that I've got for myself. And also we're going to just eating up the dab rig. And there's says Mark Roberts, well, 1 try for Tony Pulu, 2 for Quintal Pyer, and then 1 for Aidan Ross. And there's the link to the Kiwi Lads Extras for anyone who does want to check it out. It's Sebastian has just put that. Yeah, we've recently started our Warriors career mode, and yeah, the Kiwi Lads and Wanaka oath the boys, and we'll find some Sheilas, and we will all shag them together. I mean, what are you gonna tell your wife? You're going away for a lads holiday. Although there will be, I think we've got Katie who will be covered on the trip. as one of the lads. She is almost, I guess, one of the Kiwi lads at this point in time. And then, I don't know, maybe we get a couple other of our, or to be fair, there's only another couple female viewers. We've got Nov Mum. Nov Mum, would you be keen for a trip to Wanaka to go to the lake? And also we got the other man, Hamish. You got a good positive energy. Says Nazi Williams there as well. That's the thing. I always find, like, from a very young age, like, I can't look angry. Like, even if I try, like, but it just doesn't work. So I just decided, oh, well, might as well be happy then and be positive. And also, mine's already heated, says Johnny Longstrong. Sabuse, how you doing? Says Tafatolo, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And do let me know, of the Sevens games later on, which one are you looking forward to the most? We have got Samoa taking on South Africa. We have got New Zealand taking on Australia. And we have got Fiji. And France was the other one. And also that question to North Mum was so awkward after what Johnny just said. It was indeed. That's why I had to add in the part about the lake. And then also Wanaka would be a beautiful place to visit one day, bucket list. That put a pin in it. Let's go, Kiwis, says Justin. And also we've got their blue sky smiling at me. Nothing but the blue skies do I see. And the Kiwi lads shag a lot grand tour. And also Siki Uso says Johnny Longstrong. And also, man, the Sevens is rocking hard. Samoa won against Spain and Ireland. Says Dafatolo. Yeah, they've been looking pretty good at the moment. We have actually got a preview of the matchup between Samoa and South Africa coming out at 9 p.m. New Zealand time. And I actually predict a Samoan win in that one up against South Africa. So we'll have to wait and see whether or not that's correct. Yeah. I like safety there, sure, dude. Says Sebastian. And also we got the Samoa doing really well on the Sevens this regatta. Let's go, says Justin. And yeah, I'm hoping they can continue to build this momentum because they look like a top contender the way that Samoa are going currently. And like South Africa, a couple of weeks ago, with their win streak, you go like they'll win 9 times out of 10. But now it's about 50-50 of who is going to be able to get themselves a win. But currently, they are sitting in some very rainy weather by the looks of it. That kid does not look happy to be sitting in the rainy weather. He looked like he just wanted to go home. But the Chiefs, a few of their... Geez, that's a lot of flags for the Chiefs. I do see, and that is a very bright pink hat. So it seems like there's quite a decent attendance at the game by the looks of it. It will be interesting to see how it ends up going for the second half of this game. The good news is this is going to be not just the last game. It is actually the third last game. And you're looking forward against South Africa. There's Tafatolo. So that game, it is actually taking place at the same time as the Blues versus Brumbies. But we are going to be doing something we have never done before, which is going to be the fanciness. That is, we're going to have one live stream going with someone else actually doing the coverage, I guess you could say. It's actually going to be my mum and maybe a guest for her doing the live commentary for Blues versus Brumbies while I am doing the coverage for the Sevens. And then I will be popping back in. Are you going to be calling the classic All Blacks versus Spain game, says David? I was hoping to, although the problem is I haven't found any lineups for the teams. And also, yeah, I don't really know many of the Spanish players. So I think the plan will be Leinster versus Munster, but I will let you guys know exactly what is happening in the All Blacks game versus Spain as well, kind of thing. So it'll be like a split one, but I'll keep you guys informed of the score, who's playing, who's scoring tries, everything like that. And Spain and Ireland, good one, bro. And as I was saying, Spider-Man, and also I just realized South Africa lost to Ireland on French soil. And for the Rugby World Cup, the Springboks and Ireland are in the same pool, you know. And then Samoa Uso's playing really well. Here's Johnny Longstrong. And also do letter G. And lost your link, says Oldie in there. So it was the Kiwi Lads Extras is what the channel is called. But it's actually one of the recommended channels. If you click on Kiwi Lads and then there is a channels tab. And it will be in there as well. Alongside all of our other channels, including the Kiwi Lads Sport, Kiwi Lads Reacts, Kiwi Lads Clips. We have too many channels. But we are hoping to get a few of them fired up very soon. And also interesting Kiwi Lads. We'll be making history tonight. And there, as I says, Justin. Yeah, it is. It's going to be weird. Because we've never done more than one of, I guess, more than one live stream at the same time that I know of anyway. I know we've come into matches halfway through, but I don't think we've had simultaneous. So my mum, tell you what, she's got a pretty impressive setup that we're going to give her for this one because she's going to have my old microphone that used to be that kind of swinging one. So she's going to have that. She's going to have a better webcam than I've got because it is our recording one for out in the studio. That is the link as well that Sebastian has got for the Kiwi Lads Extra. So she's going to have all the gear and it's going to be very high quality. And she was going to have a guest of George, but now I think George may have said that he might not be able to make it. So now I'm seeing whether or not I can find her another guest to be able to have for the live stream, which more than likely could be someone by the name of Isaac. Maybe. We will see, hopefully, at this stage. But that's the thing. From doing the cricket, I think she's got a lot more, I guess, confidence for the live stream side of things. So she might even do it by herself. I was like, sorry, Hamish, when's this? This is going to be at about 10:20 p.m. tonight that it has taken place. So it is going to be the Brumbies versus Blues. For the first 30 minutes, it will be myself. Then after that, it will be swapping over to my mum. And also, if she's got a guest, her guest. And then I will be doing the Sevens live stream, going back. And then it is going to be, me for the rest of that live stream. And also the New Zealand game against Scotland was hard. Scotland, it was so good in defence in the first half. Exactly right. 0-0 at halftime in that game. And Chris Marceau sounded pumped and ready to put on some big hits. Siki there says Johnny Long and Strong. But yeah, it's going to be awesome seeing some of those guys in action as I'm on it, mate. Oh, I'm in on that, mate. Says David the Mod. As I say, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. I know that as long as we got one moderator on that live stream, I will be very happy just because I think for the seven side of things, I should be able to moderate by myself if I do need to type thing. But I want to make sure that she's got a moderator and she won't actually be able to remove comments in that live stream. And also Warriors 10 are drag queens on 6 as well. The drag queens, I've already forgotten who they were playing. The Dragons. There we go. Currently, they are showing an ad for some Ford vehicles, which of course I do not have. I think we've got a Nissan. But it still does the job. You probably want to go off-roading like they are with those ones. Currently now, the second half about to get underway. Get me to do it. I'm scary enough. And there as well says Patty. And they're currently now almost second half of this game. In fact, we're getting the Bunnings NBC warehouse thingamabob animation, which means we're close. And also, I'll be there as well. I can't let Donna down, says Sebastian. But yeah, who knows? Maybe it's the start of something that happens on the channel. Maybe Mum does live streams during the day and I sleep during the day. And then we swap at halftime. Currently, the Western Force, they'll be looking to get themselves back into this game. Paul Tito, Force assistant coach. He won't be completely happy with how that first half went, but they won't be completely disappointed at the same time, if that makes sense. Under a bit of pressure at set pieces, but they have 50% or 58% of the possession. Right, and I'll say, you buddy, the enforcer, I'll be there, Donna too. And then the good thing about the Samoan team is they're youngsters and new in the series, and the way they played is like far more than expected. That's the thing. They've got so many young guys that were on debut only 2 weeks ago. And now they just look like they've been playing for years together, which is awesome. I have a 1987 Mazda 626, only have one owner. So it says Justin there. See, that's the thing. I don't really know my vehicles that well. And I'll be honest, the best I know vehicles is from playing Forza Horizon when I have the vehicle. But I know that my dad loves a Ford Mustang. And also the Gear Bros, Conrad Smith are playing. Jerome Kano was announced, but it doesn't look as though he's playing. I did see him in France for the Sevens yesterday. So unless I guess he could make the trip, couldn't he? But since he's still playing recently for Toulouse, he might end up, missing that one. But hopefully we get a couple nice surprises. Imagine they run out and Dan Carter's just in the lineup and no one knew that he was in Spain. I feel like that would be quite an awesome, appearance. And also my first car was a rare Mitsubishi Mirage. Was an 84 and fire away, Seb. And there's an idea just struck me, but I don't know how you're going to feel about it, says Sebastian. Do let me know, Seb. Let's see what it is. I am now on Dragon's Den. You got to pitch it to me, and I'll give you some money. That's how Dragon's Den works, isn't it? That's the way that they do it. They just give away the money for the idea. Let's see how it goes, Seb. And also Richie. And there, Richie McCaw just makes the trip over. Or Kieran Reid, maybe. Although I think he is currently in New Zealand doing a few interviews for Sky. That's the other side of things. I know that a lot of the Sky like kind of presenters are probably locked into deals. And also, you know how Donna really loves cricket. People asking for the IPL playoffs. Are really kept in touch with the tournament. Shorter format of the game, her confidence is growing. And there's us, Sebastian. Ooh, okay. I see what you're saying. I mean, I think she would if it wasn't at 2 a.m. If it was at like a normal hour, if it's at like 10, she might consider the first half of it alongside me possibly. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Hey, dude, are you going to do the Rugby League World Cup live commentary? I think that will depend. Do you guys want to see the Rugby League World Cup live commentary? Because we are probably going to end up doing it on the Kiwi Lad Sport if we do it, just because of copyright. We don't want to end up getting this channel taken down. And also we've got their Malama Usos. And there, as I says, Johnny Longstrong, and hopefully Chiefs scored first try in the second half. It was a nice wide cutout pass. Initially out to Quintapaya. And they did go for that kick in behind. It's a wonky line out, and it is going to be now the Chiefs ball. And I would love to also. And there's Tafatolo. And it's not actually that far away, is it? So maybe we could try and get into it. I will mention I don't know a huge amount of some of those players from pretty much anywhere other than pretty much Australia and New Zealand, to be honest. Maybe a few of the English players I do know from the, I've forgotten the name of it, not the Super League, but the one in the Northern Hemisphere, and also Lucky Lady. And as I said, Josh, and also my first car was a two-door 94 Nissan Pulsar. And there as well says Johnny Long and Strong. And also we got the man, the time zone bollocks, always eludes me. Yes, sorry, very tough for middle of the night fixtures. Although if I pay her well enough, she might consider it. You know? We'll see how we go. Although I think I would have to pay her a lot. Probably more than just a pizza. Which is normally, I mean, it's a universal payment, isn't it? The pizza, and also great ideas, Seb, says David the Mod. But I think she'd enjoy doing maybe some of the New Zealand domestic ones. I have a story about Hamish, says Petty Wagon. And this way, you have a story about Hamish. That is concerning, Petty. I don't know what George has been telling you, but remember, half of what you hear is bull, and the other half's all. Yeah, I don't know what the story will be, but if it's from George, he could have said anything just to try and get you to believe it. Now, currently, it is going to be a scrum feed once again in favour of the Western Force. This day is going quick currently. We have already been up for an hour and 40 minutes today, and we have only got another 13 and a half hours left of the day. So not too bad overall for the Giants. And also we've got a hi from John who wants to hear it, says Patty. Well, I don't even know if I want to hear it, Patty. It depends on what it is, really. I'm trying to think of what stories I've told George, and there's a few of them. But then it's whether or not it's one of those ones that use universal payment as a blowy. That's a minimum too, says Johnny Long and Strong. Yeah, nah, don't think me and my mum would go there for that one. But pizza's normally the easier way of doing it. I let it rip. Petty Daddy, says Johnny. He's probably going to change his name to that now, Johnny. You've done it now. Currently now, Angus Tarville trying to fire up the front row. Well, Jason, does George actually know some of your darkest secrets? The thing is, though, like dark secrets, nah. Because I don't really have many dark secrets, I don't think. But more along the lines of, I guess, slightly embarrassing secrets, perhaps. Imagine going on Donna's stream and there's 4 moderators looking for people to time out. Says David about it. Also, Dan Carter was at the announcement, so you never know. Says David. So, yeah, maybe he does pop up for that game. It would be pretty awesome to see him, because who's their 10 at the moment? They've got Stephen Donald, although. So I feel like maybe he covers, and then Brody McAllister, or not Brody McAllister, sorry, Luke McAllister is probably in the centres. Rico and Jose Gear both going to be playing. Conrad Smith in the centres. They haven't really got a huge amount of forwards by the sounds of it. Ian Pryor, the ball was out, so because of it now, it is going to be the knock-on from Ian Pryor, and it's going back for the scrum feed now. Also, if the Chiefs win this week, would put them on the table, they would still be in 4th, but they extend their lead a little bit more above the side below them. So that is the big one that they will be trying to do. It's good work from Bradley Slater, though. He timed that to perfection. I feel like the fact that we haven't seen anything from Paddy for a while means he's probably typing out the story. Although I think, how many characters does YouTube limit you to? And also Conrad, come teach the AB Census how it's done, eh? Says Johnny Long and Strong there. So I guess, Johnny, question. Who is the next, well, not complete resemblance, but who will be the next Conrad Smith and Ma'anonu combo, do you think, for the All Blacks? Do you think we've got it currently, or do you think it's going to be way down the line that we do end up finding it? Do let me know. Now it's going to be going back across. Nice run from Brad Weber. In fact, it's Bryn Gatlin who does carry that one for Peter Gustoakula. Recycles it quickly up to the 22 now. Brad Weber goes back across the Tupavai. Nice run. Now 22 metres out from the line. The Chiefs are sitting with a 14-point margin between them. I was just years ago, Hamish was actually a girl, had a crush on George. George didn't want it and just laughed, which made Hamish age to the man he is today. Is that the story George told you? That's going to be the try for Quinton Fire there. Brilliantly done by the Chiefs centre. Could he be the next Nonu or Conrad Smith, maybe? And also, we have got there, my first car is a penny farthing. And there's Roger Tuivasa-Sheck and Rico. And some of those ex-All Blacks could still play top rugby. And there's very nicely done by Quinton Fire. He gets himself his third try. And that is about our sixth hat trick that we have seen for Super Rugby Pacific currently. And we all go like that. And I like that as well. But Quinton Fire, he's having a field day at the moment. A moment. I am just sending a message to someone. There we go. I'm still organising the other live stream. I feel like I'm like, I guess, the parent who's doing, you know, when you got to organise who's taking cars and whatnot. I'm G Paddy Wagon. And as I says, David the Mod there. But yeah, you know how you're trying to organise who's taking what vehicles, who's going where. I feel like I'm doing that currently. And Quinton Fire with the hat as well with the hat trick. Done very nicely indeed. Quinton Fire 46 minutes into this game now. And the Chiefs extend their lead. And they are currently sitting with that bonus point if this is how the match would be ending. But currently the Chiefs, I'm looking through at their bench. It doesn't really look like anyone's ready to run out onto the field anytime soon. Now Gatlin strikes it. Gatlin gets it nicely. And also, I don't think you can replace Nonu the GOAT. And Conrad will make due with whatever Fozzie deems fit to play Goodyear and Rico for the Island first test. See, that's the one that I would go with. But it's the question of whether or not Ian Foster goes, we'll put Geordie Barrett at 12. Oh, actually, Rieko Ioane might actually be injured currently, Johnny. So you go Geordie Barrett at number 12. You find someone from the four back, put him at centre, and she'll be right. And the Blues combination should fill for Conrad and Ma'a. And there, as I says, Gita. That's the thing, Conrad Smith, at the moment, he wouldn't mind having Ma'a Nonu return. Although he's in the USA currently with a different rugby contract, so it's probably quite tricky getting him for the Classic All Blacks game. It's going to be another knock-on against the Western Force and the Chiefs. They are going to be holding on to that one. That's going to be a knock-on, though. Against, I believe that was Caleb Trask. Hello, Mumsy. All right. You may not have a George with you.
Oh, Dad said he
Did he?
Yeah.
Really? You're going to get to see my dad, possibly?
So George has bailed already.
George may have bailed. He'll know after 9. But then I'm also organising just in case Isaac's king.
Okay.
If you want that.
Either or.
Either or. So yeah, me mumsy, someone mentioned about the IPL. You want to do the playoffs?
What, 2 o'clock in the morning? You're right. I'll get paid enough for that.
No. I got to pay you more than pizza, don't I?
Yeah.
And also, Carvin up in the States and also the Blues combinations should fill for Conrad and also over there. I don't think you can. Oh, no, I read that one. You might. We're all good. Now it is going to be Brad Weber feeding that ball in. It's going to be another advantage to the Chiefs. And the Western Force, Brent Gatlin goes through. And he looks like he's trying to link up. Quinton Fire's got it. Offloads it unselfishly. Gives it off to Caleb Trask and Moni Narawa. Gives it off. Denoi Satora is not playing in this game, but instead it's going to be Caleb Trask. I almost said Denoi Satora. In fact, I did, because it was Chase Tia out on the wing, but Caleb Trask scores the try for the Chiefs, and that is another one. And this game is getting more and more one-sided now. Right. High-scoring one looks like it is going to be on the cards here for the Chiefs, and that actually only took them about 3 minutes since their last try. So nicely done. And Peter Feta has to make the All Blacks squad this year. I 100% agree. If he doesn't, I don't know what he's got to do to get in there, because he's had an absolute blinder this year. And also last year he was doing very nicely for the Bunnings NPC as well. So you've got got to have him in there somewhere, even if it is as fullback cover, even if it is as fly half cover, just get him in the side. Definitely his third first five. There's Johnny Long and Strong, and also the Chiefs on fire, says Not Mum. They are indeed, and also, yes, lads. So here's Paddy Wagon there. Nicely done for the Chiefs. And also, bonus point victory seems imminent. And there's says Sebastian. Yeah, currently sitting 33 points to 7. And the Western Force, like they're saying, do they have an answer? Because the last few weeks, they have been struggling big time, the Western Force, unfortunately for them. And now, Richard Kahui making his way out onto the field, and also we're there. Nicely worked, Chiefs. And there as well says Justin Bringatlin. Misses that kick out to the right-hand side, and that will now make the score 33 points to 7 after 50 minutes of this game. But Brad Weber, nice pass off to Bringatlin, just sold the dummy, went straight through Pasatoa, and then from there, Quintal Pye, rather than taking it on himself, he did do the pass, which was a pretty impressive one. And also over there, where would the Chiefs sit on the table? If they win this, they will still be 4th, but they will be catching up with the Brumbies a little bit more, with a chance of maybe finishing 3rd if the Brumbies lose to the Blues. That will all come down to their next week's fixture that they have got up against the Fijian Drua, which, of course, we will be covering on the channel, I should mention. So anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We've also got 2 more games later on tonight. The Hurricanes taking on the Rebels, and also alongside that, the next game that we are going to be covering after that one is Brumbies taking on the Blues. Passing it back across now. Doing it very nicely, and also 48-13 to the Chiefs. So yes, Spider-Mick is the prediction there. The Western Force, a bit of rush defense from the Chiefs, and it was a nice low tackle from Chase Tiatia, although now it's a counter-ruck. It's going to become the advantage, and the penalty to the Force. So now 51 minutes through into this match. It's only 29 minutes to try and get themselves 4 converted tries to get back into the match. But Richard Kahui, he did actually end up with a red card last week for himself, and that was for a headbutt. In the end, he didn't mean to headbutt, but his head was in the wrong place, and it was a headbutt. Plain and simple, so he did end up getting the red card, but he must have gotten, I guess, the suspension, or didn't get a suspension for that one, as he is out there. And also when the Brumbies lose to the Blues, and as us says Justin, well, that one, and of course, that game is going to be happening just a little bit later on in about 4 hours' time. We do get to see those 2 sides play off, but it's going to be a loose ball now. Ian Pryor jumps on that one. Nicely taken by the Western Force number 9, although he wasn't quite able to roll over the way that he wanted to. Hurricanes are going to scalp the Reds. And there's us, says Justin. Certainly going to be a tough game for them. But saying that, the Rebels did very well last week up against the Chiefs. So you never know with the Rebels. They're actually looking a lot better this season than they have in the past season. Same with the Waratahs. And it makes you wonder how they managed to drastically turn it around from going from being in last place, losing over games, to them being able to get themselves so many wins. It's all right. You can screw it up. It's all good. Mum is currently screwing up the newspaper for the fire. If anyone's wondering what that rustling was, hence why I started laughing for that one as well, because it's just one of those ones you can't do it quietly. It's either going to make noise or it's going to make more noise. Right, so it is all good. At Anton Signa starting at 6. How good. It was nice to see youngster see his family top. His dad sounded proud as bro. And there's says Johnny Long and Strong, but tackling the player without the ball is the penalty there against the Chiefs. So quite a few penalties against them in the second half so far throughout the first 13 or so minutes. Byron Ralston kicks it into touch. And yep, it was a big shot from Mitch Jacobson. I think it was Fergus Lee Warner who did end up lining up. So his opposite number, I guess you could say, for this matchup, opposite blindside flanker. Now ready to throw this one into the back for Lisi Kaitu. It's overthrown, and it's a knock-on advantage now in favour of the Chiefs. Luke Jacobson with a nice run, moving up to 25 metres out from the line. And now Weber fires it back to Bringatlin, who does kick it downfield. It's advantage over. It's close, and it's gone into touch on the full, so it's actually going to go right back. And because advantage was over, and I think Bringatlin now asking the question of whether or not it was. It's going to be unfortunate for them there, the Chiefs, as now the Western Force will have the line out from inside of the Chiefs 22. I think they were asking the question of whether or not that knock-on advantage was still prominent. That is the first yawn of the day, ladies and gentlemen, which I feel like hopefully will be the last. Which probably that won't be the case though. We have got a bit longer. That wasn't straight from the Western Force. And unfortunately for them, they've been their own worst enemy here with the little mistakes that they have had. And Faliti Kaitu'u needed that one to go straight. They were in a good attacking position on the field, but now the Chiefs, they will be able to get rid of some of that relieving of the pressure. And it looks like it's going to be Summersoon Takiao making his way out onto the field for Bradley Slater. Andrew Reddy is going to be making his way out onto the field as well, alongside Angus Wagner as another player who has made his way out there. And also Chiefs try before the 60 minutes. And there says Nov Mama, yeah, bro, Anton's the man. And yeah, to come over at 15 and get to where he is now at 20. Dude's mentally tough as well. Says Nazi Williams. But Bradley Slater, he is going off. And I believe they also made the sub of one of their props. I want to say it was Aiden Ross maybe who's made his way off there. Or is it just Bradley Slater? They might have actually just subbed Bradley Slater. He's getting the high fives from his teammates. I pray the Blues can hold it together tonight, says David the Mod. See, that's the thing. They need the win just to, I guess, not just help out their fellow New Zealand sides, but also like just to keep that confidence alive. They're currently on a massive win streak for themselves. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not that does continue all the way to the quarterfinals, which is 2 weeks away. An evening, fam. Says, Obi there, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Currently now another big push from the Chiefs, and it's solid. And it's now going to be the advantage offload off the back to Brad Weber, who's going to be back in some of that pace. And he seems like he's been working on the pace because he's got plenty of it. Going down the wing, puts the grubber in behind. And Moni Narawa chases, and it goes into touch there. And now I think it is going to be a Chiefs line out about 5 meters out from the line. Happy to see the Chiefs leading. Nice voted for them, or nice voted for them to win, says Barry Green. And welcome in, mate. It must be early morning in South Africa, so I hope you are doing well. And also we have got their Blues are so on fire, it's going to be hard to beat them, says Justin. And also we have got their hi, Obi, how's it, bro? And also it's hard to knock off any team in their backyard, says Spider Mech. It is indeed. Although we've probably seen more of it this year in Super Rugby than any other year. We've seen the Crusaders beaten at home. We've seen the Brumbies beaten at home. We've seen the Suncorp side and the Reds beaten many times. And also, good thanks, David. And Anton's picked up the Kiwi way of talking. Good on that bloke. Hope he's smashing plenty of Kiwi girls. Yeah, the boys, says Jody. And also evening, says Mr. JJ. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. That is going to be a penalty. And Rugby Varsity Quay Cooper was spotted in LA at MLR side training with them. Quade might be headed overseas, or further overseas, I guess, going from Japan to the USA. He doesn't seem like he's going to be spending any time in Australia, does it? And also, dude's got a Kiwi accent hard. Hello, his dad, the first president in German Blues Supporters Club, says Nazi William. And also, awesome, bro, says David. And also, good to see the boys off to a good start. And I'm busy eating chips, and not even, or even not. And there says it was Barry. And also, will Quade Cooper play versus England, says Johnny Long and Strong. I believe, I don't know, because I think it depends on his Japanese top league contract. But if he's training with an MLR side, I would think that he is actually away, and should be eligible, I would think. It's very hard to tell because of the Ghetto law and everything. It does make it a little bit trickier to work out who is available, who isn't, for all of the selections. Oh, I've got a picture from Xavier on the Discord. Spotted at MLR side's training facility. Oh, the LA Giltinis. I think Casey will be pretty happy with that. That's going to be the try now to the Chiefs as well, as they're the first and only member of the Blues Germany club. And yeah, but that is going to be Tupawai, who does manage to get that try there. And the Western Force, I should mention, they are going to be playing up against the Moana Pacifica side, and that will be on Tuesday at 7:05. We will also be covering that game on the channel, but it was the rolling scrum once again. Then Peter Gus-Cycle, he was half an inch from the line, and then from there, Tupawai goes around the side, gets the ball down, and does manage to score himself yet again another try. There we go. Tupawai scores. And that is going to be in the 58th minute. So currently this game's becoming more and more one-sided as it continues on. And nicely done. And also I think Cooper is chasing the money at the moment. And why not, if you get offered 6 figures, exactly right. You're going to make extra money for yourself while you have only got a few more years left in your kind of rugby career, I guess you could say. I'm eating normal crisps. I have not had breakfast. What I'm doing is wrong, says Barry Green. And also, okay, Chiefs to score try before 65 minutes. And then, of course, Segner and his dad says Sammy Sosa and also Bash and Cowbell. Go Chiefs. There's Mr. JJ. And it looks like the crowd at FMG Stadium, well, they've been, for one, thoroughly entertained by the way that the Chiefs are playing. They're playing an aggressive game of rugby, and it does look like it is working out not too badly for them currently. And also, Barry Green smoking. Nothing wrong with that, bro. Yum, yum, eat up. And also, good job. You will get this one too. Says Batty. Now, ready to kick this game off once again. The Western Force. It's going to be Quintabai taking off the field, the hat-trick man. And also, what's your favourite flavour of chips? I do enjoy myself. I mean, it depends on the brand of chips. Like some brands of chicken chips are very nice, but then other brands of chicken chips aren't so great, I guess I should say. But I don't mind, to be honest, I don't mind just a really salted, depending on the mood that I'm in. Salt and vinegar is not too bad, but if you get the strong salt and vinegar, your tongue turns white and you can't taste anything for like 2 days. So that's how you know you've had too many of them. Green onion, that's all right as well. I think I've listed almost every type of chip. Barbecue. I don't like sour cream and chives, though, which I know will annoy quite a few people. And also, they said a good law allows the Aussie coach to select up to 3 players from overseas teams. Not sure of how it completely works. I feel like Xavier will be the perfect person to ask for the one, because I think he actually did a video at some stage on the G'day Law, if I'm not wrong, Xavier. Also, well, he has to make money somewhere. It's never going to be New Zealand. And there, as I says, Mr. JJ, and also we've got anyone got the Warriors score, please? I know that the Warriors were up against the Dragons, but I'm not too sure about now. But I will actually see if I can find that information for you now. One moment. We will go like this. And we will go like this. And also we've got there, I love potato. So all chips are good. And there's us, says Betty, and also we have got there 14-12 to the Warriors. Okay, so they got themselves a little bit of a lead. Just think about if you should eat neutral grain, Hamish, or Nutri-Grain, help with brain strain. And there's also thanks, mate, for the support. There's Barry Green and also Bluebird chicken flavored chips for the win, and sour cream with chives, and chicken chip sandwiches with fresh butter. Says Justin, that's the thing. I remember people at school used to have chip sandwiches. Like whatever they'd have in their sandwich, they'd just take it out and then put the chips in it instead, or leave what was in it and put the chips in it instead. And now it is going to be going forward once again for Fergus, Lee Warner, Western Force. They're not too far out now. And it could be close. No, not quite. And now getting closer. I think that's big Jeremy Thrush. He's close. He's over. And it's going to be the try for the Western Force. And Jeremy Thrush, he has been able to be the super sub there for them. 138th Super Rugby game. That's a big number. That is for sure. But going nicely, Jeremy Thrush scoring in the 61st minute. Is there a late tail in this tape? In terms of that bonus point maybe getting taken away from the Chiefs. And bro, these are them Hori as Kiwi feeds. Embarrassing. And in this says Johnny Long and Strong. And also we've got that naughty force. We're not supposed to score, and chips ain't without the onion soup packet and reduced cream. Says Natty Williams there, and plain chips and dip too good. And there we go. So I feel like at some stage we're going to have to do some sort of chip tasting, because I know that George really enjoys a chip. And also Algeri, there's Mr. JJ, and also we have got there about the garlic flavored chips a little bit earlier on. I did say garlic aioli chips. And also we've got there and the tin gone beef and taro on the side. Says Nazi Williams, and also we've got the Western Foreskin and the Ant Eaters. Just Johnny Long and Strong. There you go. I felt it.
Is Johnny Long and Strong going to be on the air?
That's a good question. Johnny Long and Strong, are you going to be on my mother's appearance on the Brumbies versus Blues, or are you going to be on the Sevens? That is a question that she has just asked. And also chicken chips with ice cream dip. And ever heard of Gatsby, Hamish? Are we talking about the Great Gatsby or different Gatsby? Have you heard of Gatsby?
I knew the Great Gatsby.
What did he do? He was a magician.
Who's the name, but I asked you what he did. Wasn't there a movie in Leo DiCaprio play him?
I think so. I can't remember what that movie was about, though. Because we watched it for PE, which made no sense because it wasn't really PE related. So yeah, I don't know. And also we've got there a different Gatsby. I will post it on Discord, says Carl there. And also we have got there in the chat as well. Chips are a universal food. And this is Justin, and also we've got that I feel that put chips into bread and it's South Africa, or is it South African things that never know other country to do it. I know that a lot of young kids here did it at primary school, and sweet chili relish so good at its type of sandwich in South Africa, Cape Town, Pringles. And there's us, says Betty Wagon. Pringles are all right, although they are very expensive. All those ones, and also it's a Cape Townian type of sandwich as well, says Carl. Currently only 17 minutes left. I think they just mentioned that Sam Cane's jersey's going for about 4,000 on Trade Me currently to help support the Variety charity for 50 beds for Kiwi kids in need. I think they have just said in there. And also we have got that on a sub roll. And also that's because you are poor, Hamish. And there's us, says Betty, no, they're just expensive. Like for the amount that you get, when you look at the per 100 grams compared to like a bag of Heartland chips or Bluebird chips or Eater chips or Pans chips, like they just do rip you off and they don't even fill the can. And there goes that Pringles sponsorship, eh? That one's out the window. I wouldn't mind a Pringles sponsorship if there was the ability to have one. And also I'm glad I got more than one device. I'll be watching both streams there, fans. There's Justin also with this, give the Chiefs a home semi. And there says Mr. JJ, if they do go on to win this match, the Brumbies lose their game up against the Blues, and then the Chiefs win next week, I believe that will have the Chiefs as the home semi-final. Unless, actually, the only way they'll get the home semi-final is if the Blues or the Crusaders, one of the top two, would be missing out on the semi-finals from the quarters, I think it is. And no poverty in New Zealand, bro, only broke in bad money management. There's Natty Williams. Okay, try coming soon. I think says Nov Mum. And also, have you ever tasted the one chip challenge? I have not. I'm not the best with spicy stuff. Like I find sweet chili sauce spicy. So yeah, I don't think I do very well with the one chip. The only benefit of doing that would be probably a good YouTube title. Other than that, though, don't think it's worth it. And also, that's a strong call, Mr. Williams. And as I says, Justin Harris. Currently now 15 minutes left. And also, we have a lot of kids doing ram raids. What are ram raids? Is that like stealing a sheep? What is a ram raid? OB, do let me know. And also, well, I watched Chips on TV. And there says it was a spider meek. And also, Brumbies won't lose. They are playing very well, says Mr. JJ. Yeah, they play them very nicely currently. And the Blues are going to be tested in a game without the Ioanis and also with that's gone over. And the Chiefs have got themselves another try. That is Simisoji Takiaho, who has gone in for that one. And also who else are they missing? The Blues. They're missing one other player. It's the two Ioanis and also someone else. I think it's maybe one of their locks that they're missing. Oh, no big red Tom Robinson, in fact. Now I think about it right. Simisono Takiaho. Now, you would think his name would be quite a daunting task, but because he's scored so many tries recently, I think I'm starting to spell his name right, which is very useful for myself, as it does make it a lot easier to type it in. But that is another try. The Chiefs may bring up 50 in this matchup, as and also we have got there. Okay, I think I can relax now. And also we have got there. Gatsby is a South African submarine sandwich consisting of a bread roll filled with chips and a choice of filling. It's also it originated in Cape Town. There you go. And also Scorers Broken says Betty Wagon, and also hi says Amelia. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. Hope you are excited for the game that's coming up very soon. And 14 minutes till this one is over. And hi Amelia, how are you? And also Sony has got to be in the starting AB hooker now. Cody can take a back seat. And the thing is, Cody Taylor actually injured at the moment. So it does mean that there is that spot open. So it's whether or not it's him, Dane Coles, or Asafa Moore. I think those are your three. And then also, if you do go with another one, you maybe drop a Moore for Kurt Eklund. And also should have made a bet tonight. And there, as I says, Mr. JJ. I mean, it's one of those ones, like, I'm terrible at predicting Super Rugby games at the moment because in the preview side of things, you don't want to say a team's going to lose by 40 points just because it sounds like you're being a dick. But if you are telling the truth for it, then everyone goes, nah, but your prediction, like, you did it because you're being cocky. But it's just at the moment, the score lines are just so different. And I can't wait to watch my favorite team, Chiefs. Says Jay there, and also we've got their Brumbies won't lose. That's interesting. I don't think they can beat our Kiwi teams. Says Justin there, and also been all right. I finally beat a game that has eluded me for years. Oh, which game is it, Amelia? Do let me know. At the moment, accidental offside. Seems like it is going to be the penalty there. And all our Kiwi teams are currently picking it. Picking it will be hard to beat them unless you're a Kiwi team. And also a book by F. Scott Fitzgerald. And there as well, says David Beasley. And also, I would never guess that score, says Mr. JJ. But yeah, it's a very tricky one to predict Super Rugby because, like, one day it could be a massive scoreline to one team. The other day it could be fine. That's going to be actually an awkward pass, but they have been able to take it nicely here for the Western Force, close to the halfway line now. Isaac Rodder has got the position. And also, do you know a supermarket called Woolworths? I do indeed, although in New Zealand it is called Countdown. But yeah, pretty much one of these supermarket chains. And also, I had Chiefs by 26, says Novmum there. And at the moment, they aren't looking too far off that mark. I claim to be poor. And I lifted my recycling bin, and it was full of empty Cody cans. And there says Nazi Williams that also we have got there. It was like this game on Roblox called Climbing Everest. I finally reached the summit. And there says Amelia. Okay, they didn't have a clear release there for Tupavai. So because of it, it does mean that he has been penalised once again in this match. So the Chiefs actually being penalised quite a few times in the last little while by the looks of it. Now it is going to be the line out for the Western Force, sitting 40 metres out from the line, 25-0. It's more than awkward. And the Woolworths second half of the grocery store, grocery store, I don't know why I can say that, duopoly that has plagued New Zealand for far too long in there. And also we have got there, hi Amelia says David the Mob, but now the Western Force, they want to get themselves back into this a little bit more, and let's not go back in history. So here's Mr. JJ there. But currently now hanging on to this one, it is going to be Bo Abra. Gets one of his first carries of this matchup. Only 10 minutes left. No, not the Cody's. Please put that away. Says it was Johnny Long and Strong. Now Ian Pryor, he has actually gone off the field, and instead it is the replacement, number 21 for this matchup, which I believe, I've forgotten his name, unfortunately. I can see him. It's not Fines Laliawasa, I can tell you that much. There's someone else, but I cannot think of him. They're about to say his name. McDonald. It's Michael McDonald. And also, everyone says, William, welcome in. And also, you're having chips for tea, Amish. I'm having chicken soup. And there says David the Mod. And also, I shopped 3 guys and Best Fresh and Food Town. And there says no one. And also, Chase 2 says Mr. JJ. But currently now it is in another advantage in favour of the Western Force. And also, I remember 12% Cody's. I was like 16, drink 2 cans and be off my rockers, says Johnny Too Strong, or Johnny Long and Strong. Now, rush defence from the Chiefs. Nice work from Alex Nankerville. It's going back for another penalty against the Chiefs now. And they've got to be extremely careful here, because this is definitely going to be close to a yellow card, I would think, with the amount of penalties that they've given away. And speaking of Gatsby, I'm having leftovers for breakfast. That is another yawn. And we say that is the second one of the day. I feel like we'll be able to keep track, and by the end of the day, we'll be up to about our 46th yawn. But hopefully not too bad. And jokes where I can't even drink those. I don't know how peeps do it. Yuck. Says Nazi Williams. And also, I'm having fish and chips for dinner. That's my uncle, that my uncle made. Says Amelia. So hopefully it's going to be very nice. Do you know the type of fish that he used, Amelia? And also, yeah, those 12% though. And also, yum, homemade fish and chips. Says Justin there. But currently, Western Force, they are 5 meters out from the line. And they will be going for, once again, another rolling maul. They have had many of them throughout this match, but not many successful. Andrew Reddy goes to the back. Taken nicely. And now it starts to march. The Chiefs' rolling maul defense, though, today has been pretty strong, although they've just given away that advantage. So now you would think maybe a yellow card could be on the cards here. A little cross kick. It's going to go straight into the hands of the Chiefs. And it's going back. Double blow of the whistle. 6 collapsing. Surely, if it's not a warning, like, he's got him very lucky. Peter Gasoakola, and also we have got the potato salad, chopped soy, cocoa cream mussels, and some leftover Texas chicken. My wife looks after us real good, says Johnny Long and Strong. It does sound like it. Geez, that's like a 4-course meal, isn't it? Or 3, yeah, no, 4-course meal. What's for dessert, Johnny? Because I know you were talking about ages ago you ended up having, I think it was cheesecake, wasn't it? If you got any cheesecake tonight. And I'll say, oosh, yum. And as well says Nazi Williams. But now that is their last warning. The referee said if you make any more mistakes, they're taking the quick tap and they go short, close. And I think they're over. It's whether or not it was held up. They have said held up, though. And it is going to be now the goal line drop out, lucky dude. And now Pringles, Grain Waves, and Bluebirds for sure. And Sammy Sosa there for the type of chips. See, I've never really had Grain Waves. I don't know why. What flavors of Grain Waves are there? There's sour cream and something, which I think is why I haven't had that type. But are there other types of Grain Waves? Do let me know. And also, we've got their forced need 5 converted tries in about 7 minutes. Says no one there. And also, yum, yum, yum. You've made me hungry. And I are going to make a feed, says Justin. And they're currently now hanging on to this one. It is going to be passed back to the short side. Nicely done. Beautiful link up pass. And now the Western Force trying to back the pace. It is Brad Lacey. It's been dragged down on the 22. The Western Force have had more of the ball in the last 5 minutes. They've had more penalties in their favour as well. And it's the youngster McDonald who goes in for it. And now, if they get themselves another two or three tries in the next little while, that is going to cancel out the bonus point of the Chiefs. But Michael McDonald does end up scoring it in the 73rd minute. There's still something going on out there on the park. Well, looks like we're getting games that go for 70 points way more often. Try Mexican chili there because Crane Waves are not a chip, says Mr. JJ, and also bacon. And there it says David the Modern Sweet Chili flavor is the best. And yum, 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 those make me hungry. And also, or just one for your prediction. And there, so bacon Grain Waves. And eat the sour cream ones. And also, I'm going to fire up leftover pork roast with some leftover vegetables, potato, kumara, carrot, pumpkin, and stuffing. Hey, what sounds all right, doesn't it? I'm just having chips. And also, my wife likes the beautiful island food, bro. I want the baby to eat heaps because he's a skinny thing, but he's not into it. How's he supposed to become a 6'6", 130 kg big Uso? Can be my personal bodyguard, says Johnny Long and Strong. And also, yum. There's Nazi Williams and FS. Can't wait for the onion dip when I get back to New Zealand next week. I can't get that stuff in the Netherlands. And my supplier went out a long time ago. Says Josh, see, normally people have suppliers for something else, but I guess onion dip. Probably a decent thing to have a supplier for, now that I think about it. So what are you doing back in New Zealand, Josh? Is it a holiday or is it that you're coming back to live permanently? Do let me know. He said he's using cod. Either way, whenever he makes fish and chips, it's better than the takeaway stuff, says Amelia. So yeah, it sounds like some nice, maybe blue cod. That is a very nice type of fish to use, or even if it's red cod or black cod, will still be very nice. Also, Uso. And there, as I says, Justin. Now it's going to be another penalty against the Western Force, not releasing the ball. And now with 5 minutes left, getting hungers, even though I'm eating chips and dip, they'll need some meat. And will everyone stop talking about food? It's making me hungry. There's David the Mod. Yeah, it's going to be one of those days, isn't it, that the food talk will be prominent. Luckily, it is 6:15, so anyone who hasn't already got themselves some food, be sure to make some in the break between the next two games. But Josh Bartlett now out of field there and Hardman. And also we've got their sips, says Mr. JJ, and also all the packets are smaller now. The dogs dropped the volume and the weight of the product and still charge the same amount, says Johnny Long and Strong. They do indeed. And also, don't worry, I'm already becoming a cranky butt because I'm starving. And it's amazing. I started talking about chips. Now it's talk of the live stream. That is very true. Now, Samasoni Takiaho breaks off the back. He's going to be extremely hard to stop for Richard Kahui. You got to say good luck to him. He doesn't stop him, though. And he has gone in. And it will be another try for the Chiefs now. And they have been able to bring up the half century, ladies and gentlemen. So this has been a very good performance on the Chiefs. And in the 76th minute, Samasoni Takiaho has been able to go in and get himself another try. And he might be going for the hat trick here as well. And also, my mum isn't letting me watch the Rebels game on the big telly normally because of the bloody election. I have to watch it in my room. And how funny is that, says Barry in there. It just shows how quickly, like, just one little deviation could cause, like, a whole, like, conversation. And I feel like that's the kind of cool thing about YouTube is, like, randomly something's mentioned and then it's just literally all we talk about. And currently eating some lamb soup. Says Sammy Sosa, it's a good strike from Bryn Gatlin, and now it makes the score 54 points to 21 in this game. And yes, I'm picking a semi now. And damn, Sent's going to go a ram raid in town. And yeah, and Kakite Says it was Spider Mix, so we will see you later on. Also, we have got the I can't see the Chiefs losing from here, and we don't get blue gold up this way. Amish snapper up here. Says to have the mod. So yeah, when we do have that Wanaka trip, we are going to have to make sure that we do get you some blue cod, David. And you'll probably be like, it's all right compared to snapper. See, we don't get snapper down here very often, I don't think either. And also we have got the Hamish, who's older than Richard Kahu on the Super Rugby comp. Got any idea? I've got a couple in mind. Owen Franks, Greg Holmes. I think those are probably my two that I think are older than Richard Kahu. I'm just going to quickly check his age. Richard Kahu. In fact, he might be older than Owen Franks. He's 36 years old. How old is Owen Franks? Owen Franks. He might only be 34. Yeah, he's 34. So not Owen Franks, but Greg Holmes is older. That is going to be another brilliant run from the Chiefs. And now only just sitting outside of the 22. Almost jumped on by Xavier Rowe. I reckon the Blues Brumbies will be a nail biter. It certainly will be. There is Lay's Wasabi Chips out there. And is it weird that Moro and a picnic is my favorite of the favorites box? I don't think so. Like, I know my dad's favorite is a Moro. My mum's favorite, I think, is a flake or the caramello one. I probably, if I had to pick one that, like, if you get first dibs on the box, I'm probably a, what do I like? I don't mind a Moro Gold. Orion Giants up there, Hamish, no cod, Kingfish. And as I said, Mr. JJ, and also we have got the wasabi chips. I say what? Who in Reincarnation thought that would be a good tasty chip flavor. Yucky. And there as well. And now currently only a minute and a half left in this contest between the two sides. Now Summer Penny Finau offloads it up. Now a ball on the outside from Caleb Trask was supposed to work out, but it doesn't. And Jake McIntyre gets it back in favour of a beer. And there's us, is Mr. JJ now. It's going to be available for Xavier Rowe. And they have got this ball straight back to the Chiefs. Now it's stolen on the ground. And it was Andrew Reddy doing it illegally for me. A sweet chili dip is fine for me. And also, I refuse to touch the old gold. And that's like the last resort chocolate in the favourite box. Says Amelia said, we don't actually have old gold over here in our favourites box. We have instead cherry ripes, which I know can split opinions. Isaac loves them. A lot of people don't like the cherry ripes, but we also, what do we get? We get crunchies, Moros, Moro Golds, picnics, Turkish Delight, the dairy milk chocolate, the caramello chocolate, Dreams, Flakes, and then also the other one that I just mentioned earlier on, Moro Gold. No, not Moro Gold. The other one, the one that I literally started talking about, Cherry Ripe. See, I can't even remember it, can I? Also, I always freeze gooey caramel and then crunchy and a picnic. Chocolates are good too, says Sammy Souza. And also, okay, one last try for the Chiefs because why not? Says no, Mum, and they've got themselves an advantage here as well. We have Capri and Beacon in South Africa. So we've got ourselves Cadbury and Whitakers as our two big ones for the chocolate department. Now hanging on to this ball. One last chance for the Chiefs. And it is going to be the back line looking like it's opening up for them. It's nicely stepped. I think that is, who is that? Is that Mekapoyapi? No, it's not. Look like a different name at number 22. And also we have got there, we have Cadbury chocolate in there as well. And also Rico Gio, 44. Says Justin, and he's going to be playing in that classic All Blacks match in a very short moment. And also in my household, it's traditional to freeze a caramello koala. It's 10 times better anyways, says Amelia there. So I guess as long as you don't break your tooth on it, you're all good. Because I know that putting chocolate in the fridge or the freezer can cause a few problems. That's going to be going back for the offside penalty. Taking the quick tap for Xavier Rowe. And the Chiefs, they want one more in this match, and it would bring up the 60 if they can get it on for the last little moment. Xavier Rowe just slings it backwards. It's going to be a loose ball. Tried to kick that one away. Was Jake McIntyre still fighting for the Chiefs? And Kit Kat, that is a very nice type. As I said, Cadbury is the official Wallaby sponsor. Love to talk about chocolate and food in general, said Sammy Sosa. And also I used to sell family-sized chocolates with my mates at Countdown after rugby training for the under-12s, says Johnny Logan Strong. And also I love Kit Kat. I love picnics. There's Justin there as well. It looks like there's just an awkward backline. Brad Lacey kicks it down the middle of the field, goes straight into the hands of the Chiefs. And Bryn Gatlin kicks it into Dutch and says that is the end of the game. And Jose Gear was a brilliant winger. And he is also playing in the classic All Blacks game. And now the caramel becomes super chewy. Anyways, you don't freeze it for hours. Like it stays in the freezer 30 minutes tops. I see. And my favorite would be the mint chocolate Cadbury or Beacon chocolate with mint filling. and also worth the dental risk munching on ice cold frozen chocolates. Says Sammy Zoza, what an exciting high scoring game. Exactly right. We did have another matchup with more than 50 points for one side. So now they are saying that the home quarter final is pretty much secured for the Chiefs at this point in time. It's just who they will be playing. That is a wait and see situation. But thank you all very much for tuning into this live stream. The next one that we are going to be doing, it will be taking place in 40 minutes time. And that is the matchup between the Hurricanes and the Rebels, followed by the game between the Blues and also the Brumbies. But nonetheless, do appreciate you all being here. And I will see you all a little bit later on. If you haven't already, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lad Sport channel. It is the pinned comment in the chat. So be sure to check that one out. And yeah, we will be back at 7 o'clock for another game of Super Rugby. My voice is trying to disappear, so I will have to drink some water before the next live stream. And the Blues says Guy, and then C Fog, and also Siki Usos, and then Meow says Paddy Wackett as well. But thank you all very much for tuning in. I will see you all for the next one.